What is up, everyone? This is going to be my patch 14.15 jungle tier list, and we're just going to go over everything you need to know about the new patch and what is the future for the jungle role. So here's the zoom out picture of it all as we go back in. We're going to start at the very top, S plus categories. These are junglers that I would say are just the best right now, that are doing the best in all ranks, that are performing the best, that just seem to be inherently very strong in solo queue. So right away we have Kha'Zix, the bug. He's a strong assassin. He's a strong solo queue jungler. He performs extremely well in this sort of meta where there's more squishy targets like AD carries. So he's just feasting on them. He's good in these double AD carry metas because he can isolate targets who are very foolish and they straddle around. So Kha'Zix's doing really well, and he's just a very strong assassin pick. Next is the Hecarim. Hecarim, I think, is just after the buffs, the changes he received, I think he's just a really strong jungler. His weaknesses have kind of been fixed in this sort of regard that his W cooldown is shorter early game helps a lot. His clear, healthy, very strong. His clear in general, he's just in a perfect position for the meta. Like, remember we talked about this is a full clear meta, right? So a full clear meta is a farming meta. So you gotta farm, you gotta farm. And that's something Hecarim does really well. So he's in a very strong position. I expect him to get nerfed for sure very soon. Next, we have Lilia. Lilia is also apparent with the whole farming full clear meta. She's doing really well in that regard. She's performing very well. Her nerfs have been very minimal. I think they went so soft on her. They literally did not nerf her at all, but I expect a nerf on Lilia to occur very, very soon. So expect that one to come. Also, they're not really targeting the item that's really broken, Liandry's or Faded Ashes. So until they do that, a lot of these AP junglers are going to be very, very juicy. So here we have Brand, another AP jungler. I think Brand is just really, really happy about the current meta. And unless they nerf Liandry's, you're going to be seeing Brand there for a very long time. Next, we have Volibear. Volibear is a very, very favorite of mine. I think Volibear jungle is a super good one to pick up, to climb. A lot of flexibility in his builds. You can do the Jackatrays one with Roa. I think is a very strong pick. And I think he's a very, very stat check champion that's doing really well right now. Next, we have Viego. Viego did indirectly get nerfed by the item Kraken Slayer getting nerfed, but that Kraken Slayer nerf was literally 2% movement speed on the item. So Viego's literally still broken. I personally, any jungler that goes Kraken Slayer, I just think are disgusting. So I hope to see more nerfs coming Viego's way. Nocturne, he's a very strong champion right now. His bruiser build's very good, low reload. I'm going to do another Nocturne video on him soon to show you guys the tanker build that's really strong for climbing, and that should help you with all your sort of issues. Next, we have Shyvana. Shyvana, she did get nerfed. Her E cooldown or damage was kind of nerfed in a way. So there's two ways. Right now, literally just build AP. Build the exact same way. You go your first item, Spear of Sojin, into Liandry's, into Riftmaker. Same build is perfectly fine. It's literally damage is slightly down, but that really didn't matter because Shyvana is still overkilling. And she fits perfectly in this sort of farm, do nothing, play for objective meta. This meta is literally, this is why I kind of hate jungle right now. It's literally full clear, farm, don't gank, gank maybe after full clearing. Objectives are up, do objectives, game's over. Do this, you're going to be winning as a jungler. And I really don't like that because it's super PvE oriented, very uninteractive. But Shyvana does like that. So if you're stacking dragons with her, you're going to be winning games. And if you win games, that's a check on how you want to play the game. So moving on to the A category, I think these are just really solid, strong picks. Fiddle, he did get Protobelt is a core item on him. So the buffs Protobelt did help him in that regard. So I think Fiddle is in a very strong spot. Udyr always very strong, especially with Liandry's build. If they nerf Liandry's, it would hurt him a lot. But also, I think Udyr is just a full clear one-trick jungler. So I don't really like one-trick junglers. So Udyr, not really on my chart. Zac as well, I think is a bit of a one-trick jungler. He's more of a tank, less about a damage dealer. But he does damage as if he is a damage dealer. So he's a good mix if you really want to play something that's good and engaging. He's in a really solid spot with the Sunfire, Liandry's build, or just full tank. Lee Sin has received some buffs earlier. Lee Sin also, he is really strong. I think he might be OP, but people are bad at Lee Sin, so his win rate is generally tanked slightly down. So Lee Sin is just a very strong pick right now, that his build is just very flexible as well. Next, we have Gwen. Gwen jungle, I'm going to do a video on her soon. I actually think she's quite strong. She's relatively perfect in this meta, and I think she's really good now with the Cosmic Drive buff. I want to do a jungle video. Next will be Nashor's build into Cosmic Drive with a bit of other items as well. I think that's really good right now. And if I was to play Gwen jungle, that's exactly how I would build. So very cool thing. Next we have Echo, just a pretty solid AP jungler, just really good right now. Some of these AP junglers are a bit better now too because of the buff to some of the AP items. Protobelt got buffed. I think Protobelt's really good. I think Cosmic Drive is really good. So those two items right now I think are very strong. So if your AP pick benefits from those two items, I think you're really good. Storm Surge, I still think it's a bad item, so I don't really care about that item that much. Warwick, like we said, I think Warwick is really broken. I think he stat checks a lot of people. Titanic Blade, the Rune King, 2 core items is really good on him, and I think he's just in a really OP position. Diana Jungle, also Protobelt into whatever you want to build, really strong right now. Nashor's build still very strong as well. So I think Dinah is actually in a really nice position too with the item buffs. Karthus, an AP jungler abuser. I don't really like him, so I'm just going to pass him. Velvet is the juicy, buzzy champion. Velvet is honestly got nerfed, but still doesn't really affect her. She's also abusing Kraken Slayer. She's a one-trick jungler, so if you're going to play Velvet, you're going to have to one-trick her. Briar, my favorite champion. Briar is actually, well, I would say she's in a decent spot right now. Not bad. Not bad at all. I think Briar, if you play her, you one-trick her still, you do some decent builds on her, you're going to be climbing for sure. I think she's a really strong pick for you to climb with. And just to talk about some special picks, Neferi Jungle, I actually think, I'm going to do another video on her. Really OP, really underrated. Like, you guys got to try her. Profane Hydra into Eclipse or whatever. Really strong right now. I highly recommend you give her a try. Her clear is extremely healthy, so you will not be dying at all in the jungle. Next, we have Amumu. Amumu also, I think, is a very strong pick. I think is really good. Very strong right now. And very OP in general. Oops. Also, just to give you some power picks that I think are really good for, climbing or whatever. I also think Master Yi is in a really good spot right now. Even in lower ranks, if you know how to play him, he's relatively good at, well, a couple sad picks here. Jax Jungle is in a really real spot with Lethal Temple being removed. Jax Jungle sort of lost his position, so I don't recommend playing Jax right now. If you want to pick similar to Jax Jungle, I would recommend something like, it would have to be someone who's very strong, but also very auto attack based, but there really isn't that many. You would probably have to play Nocturne. And I still think a champion pool really good for low climbing would be something like the highlighted champions I have here. These three, Briar, Nocturne, Volibear, really good for low rank climbing. So if you want to climb low ranks, I would recommend trying some of these 3 champions out, seeing what you like. Also throw in Amumu in there. And I think this would be a really incredible pool for you to get whatever rank you want, challenger or whatever. Hope you guys like that video. Be sure to like, subscribe if you haven't already. See you guys in the next one. Good luck on the climb. Good luck on everything. And yeah, see you later.